Good morning, respected Father Sunil Fernandez, our principal, Mr. Uday Kumar, our vice principal, Father Vishal D'Souza, our administrator of primary section, our PTA vice president, Mr. Clifton Pinheiro, the PTA secretary, Mrs. Priyadarshini, Mrs. Nayana, our guest speaker for the day, Mrs. Nivedita, our PTA member, teachers, and dear students. Every morning is a surprise, and every sunrise is a challenge, and each day is a gift. To give the first fruit of the day to the Lord is one of the most valuable ways to show our love to God. With this in mind, let us invoke God's blessings on all of us through a prayer. Mrs. Virginia Mariappa will now lead us in prayer.
God, the creator of our universe, we are in admiration of your greatness and magnanimity. As we stand before you in adoration and praise, the more we gaze upon your amazing creation, the more awestruck we are. We bless your holy name for providing us the opportunity of coming together as one community that truly cares for our planet Earth. We know that we must preserve Mother Nature and protect her from any kind of harm and danger. May we glean prudently from the information and ideas that will be shared by our resource person, Nayana. Bless her mightily that your prudence may reach our students through the words of our speaker. We thank you for SJBHS and the management. Continue to inspire them to do your holy will at all times. May we leave no stone unturned as we go about our daily lives using the knowledge and experience that we will acquire in this session. May we all make a concerted effort to strive to safeguard our Mother Earth and make life healthier and more gratifying for all of us. These graces we ask, trusting in your unending goodness and mercy. Amen.
Thank you, ma'am, for this beautiful prayer. On this pleasant morning, we are honored to have amidst us Mrs. Nivedita, our PTA member, who will now introduce Mrs. Nayana, our resource person for this session. May I now invite Nivedita to introduce our speaker.
Thank you, Jean ma'am. Good morning, one and all. I'm very pleased to welcome Ms. Naina Hanji for our special event today. Naina Hanji is a gardening enthusiast who likes to grow vegetables, greens, herbs in her kitchen garden. She explores option of not using pesticide or insecticides to grow veggies. She grows them using natural manure and organic pest repellents. She supports the principle of growing your food. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Naina, and she is going to speak on microgreens.
Hi everyone. Uh, so I had started exploring kitchen gardening since few years, and we know that vegetables are very essential for us, mainly because it provides all the nutrients, minerals, fibers for our digestion, and it's very much essential for most of our organs, starting from our eyes, our heart, our stomach, hands, legs. Um, so, what is the importance of growing our own food? We get all these vegetables in the stores. So, should we explore something like a kitchen garden or growing vegetables on our own? So it is seen in the studies that the longer the vegetables have taken time to travel from one place to another, where it is grown to where it is served, the nutrient values depreciate. And they can depreciate to an extent of 30 to 40%, depending on how many days it has taken from the time it has been harvested to it comes to the consumer like us. That's the reason I started exploring or supporting the phenomenon of growing our own food. Then coming to the microgreens, we can grow our other plants like beans, tomatoes, spinach, and all that. Where do microgreens are placed among these plants? So they come in between the sprouts and the bigger plants. Sprouts, as we know, we eat it as our daily protein consumption. So they are little bigger than the sprouts, but smaller than the actual plants. So what are the benefits of these baby plants, as we call it? Microgreens actually provide high amount of nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and also amino acids. And we have seen that it actually gives 5 to 40 times more nutrients than their adult plants. And also it is more nutritious than the sprouts themselves. It gives 2 to 3 times more nutrition than the sprouts. So I can just show you how the microgreens look. So, that gives you an idea. So this is actually grown from a green gram seed. And it has taken me 5 days to grow this. And how to grow these, right? So we don't have enough space. Say, for example, we are staying in the flats and we don't have enough space. Some of the people explore the option of growing vegetables in their balconies. But say if you don't have balconies, you can actually grow them in small containers, disposable containers that are available to us, or the small pots. And microgreens can be grown without direct sunlight on them. So you can keep it on near the windows and they grow by themselves, right? Other than this, we also will explore something called the superfoods. These are the foods that provide all the nutrients that you require. So they are more nutritious, even more than the other types of microgreens that we are seeing. Wheat grass is one of them that provides all the nutrients that a human body requires. So we will watch a video which actually takes you through what are these microgreens in depth, how do they grow, and what are the benefits of it. And then we will see how we can, do it ourselves.
Seed, something that you eat as dal sprouts. And this, wait for it, wait. And this is a microgreen, something that you eat with the stem, leaves, basically everything above the soil. Each microgreen has a very specific taste to it. For example, methi microgreens are slightly bitter. Mustard microgreens are spicy. And if you taste a radish microgreen, it actually tastes like a mooli, a radish. Apart from adding some taste to your salads and toast, these microgreens have also been scientifically proven to have great health benefits. So today I'm going to talk about microgreens that you can grow from your Indian kitchen, fuss-free, quickly and easily. I'm going to use two kinds of substrates. Here I have coco peat. This is dried coco peat. So we add water, and as it soaks in water, the second substrate we're using is the regular soil. This is about 1.5 inch deep plate. You can use such containers as well. If these containers have a drainage hole, that's great. But if it doesn't have a drainage hole, it's completely okay. The first microgreen we're going to try is mustard. This is the regular rye. We sprinkle it on the top of the soil and we bury that under about 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters of soil. Whenever the seeds are so small, such as here mustard, you don't have to bury them very deep. For the second microgreen, I'm going to use cocoa peat as a substrate. So here it has soaked in water. And let's try this with the moong dal. Since moong dal is bigger in size, we will need to keep these seeds at least an inch deep. We add water. And to keep your work desk or wherever you're keeping these microgreens clean, you can use a second container. So this will catch all the extra water, the leaking water, and your space will remain clean. And now we cover this up with a lid. If you have a lid, it's great. Why? Because here I had started microgreens of methi, and you see on the lid the moisture has collected. This will help you to reduce your effort. You don't have to water it every time. So here these methi microgreens, you can see that the seeds have sprouted, and we will open this lid only when the leaves start coming out. If you want, you can open in between as well, just to understand what is going on. But a good time to open this lid is about 3 to 4 days from starting your microgreens. Methi is something that starts very quickly, it germinates very quickly. But let's say if you're growing any kind of pulses for microgreens, they would take longer. So basically, the bigger the seed, the longer it will take. The fastest are the mustard. Here also you can see I used a lid. So I opened this lid once the stem came out. And one problem, here you can see there is some grass also coming up. When you use regular soil, you might see grass growing. This is normal grass that grows outdoors, because this soil might have had the spores, the seeds of grass. So you will have to plug this out. If you have children, I highly recommend trying microgreens. They're very easy, they're quick. You can actually show them how the roots grow out, how the seeds germinate, and the stem comes out, the leaves come out. So I think transparent boxes are a great idea. Now, once they have germinated, then you wait for 2 to 3 days. Meaning when you see the first set of leaves coming out, wait for 2 to 3 days so they gather all the nutrients that we are interested in, and then you harvest them. Here I have a microgreen which is almost ready. This is black chickpea or kala chana. And if you notice that from one stem, another stem is coming out. For dals, this is the perfect time to harvest them. For the spices ones, for example, here I have the mustard microgreen. This is the right time. These are cotyledonal leaves. They will hold the real nutrients that we are interested in and the taste that we would like. Once you harvest them, you cannot use them again because they're not going to grow back. That is why I feel that growing your microgreens from the kitchen is better, because it's more economical. These are spices and lentils that you have easy access to, compared to, for example, radish microgreen or amaranthus microgreen. In that case, you'll have to buy commercial seeds. Now, microgreens that can be grown from your kitchen, there are a bunch of them. Lentils or pulses such as rajma, lobia, chickpea, the black chickpea, kala chana, and spices. For example, fenugreek, which is methi, mustard, the Indian mustard, black rye, and you can also use grains such as wheat. So here I have a wheatgrass microgreen. I did say that once you cut them, you cannot use them again, but not in the case of wheatgrass. Wheatgrass is also considered a superfood. What are superfoods? These are a category of foods that are known to have an exceptional amount of nutrition or nutrients in them. And wheatgrass is such that, let's say today we cut it for the first time. You can let this grow. In 2 to 3 days, it will grow back to this size. You cut it. This is the second harvest. You wait for the third harvest. After that, you shouldn't use it. So this is good for 2 to 3 harvests. Why we don't use it after the third harvest? Because the sugar content will reduce drastically, and the nutrients that we are interested in will also reduce by then. One problem here you can see on my wheatgrass is fungus. A patch of fungus is growing. This happens when the humidity is too high. Here in this plate, there is no drainage hole, because of which the water does not leak out. So be very, very careful that there's no standing water, the fungus will grow. You can use this wheatgrass still, it's all right. But if you see that this fungus is growing on the seeds, then do not use it. Start a new batch. Now, it might so happen that the seeds don't germinate. In that case, it's not your mistake. When you use them in your spices in your kitchen, they absorb moisture and over time they lose their fertility. So start with a new batch of seeds and you might have better results or greater success. The third problem that people face when the seeds germinate, they try and look for light. If they don't get enough light, they become leggy and eventually they become weaker and they fall on the soil. This is basically a sign that your plant is looking for more light. You cannot grow microgreens in low light conditions. At least something like this space is required. And still, if they're becoming like what you see here, shift them to direct sunlight. And every 7 to 14 days, you'll have a new batch of microgreens ready. The steps that I'm sharing today applies to most of the microgreens, be it the ones you commercially buy, the seeds where you buy commercially, or you get them from your kitchen. The method remains the same. Just a note, remember that do not try this with all kind of edible seeds. It's not like any seed can be grown into a microgreen. Especially don't use for potato. There's nothing as potato microgreens. Those leaves are actually not edible. Don't do that. And I will try and make a list of these do not grow microgreen seeds that you might find in your kitchen and you think that I can try with this as well under this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comment section if this is simple, if this is something that you want to try. I will see you soon.
So she was actually talking about the different seeds that we can grow, right? So this is the methi seed or the fenugreek seed, and this is your mustard seed. So the methi seeds are actually, when they grow into a plant like this, I actually planted a methi microgreen. It actually tastes bitter, and the taste of these microgreens are a bit more intense than a normal plant would taste. So that's the reason they're very good to use as garnish in your curry, or you can use it in a sandwich, or you can also use it in your salads. So I've grown, this is the mustard. So I had actually planted this on Monday. So this is the fifth day of the growth of these plants. And as you see, I've reused the containers that you get it. So this could be like a vegetable container that you bring in from the supermarket. I have just made like 4-5 holes so that I can drain the water. And just to keep the thing clean and not to soil the bottom, I have used an extra container. Like in this case, I've just put it inside another container. And it has its own lid here. So as she mentioned, once you soak these seeds, you need to keep them covered for the first 3 days so that the moisture gets locked in. And this warm condition and the moisture is very helpful for the seeds to sprout and then start growing those tiny leaves that she was talking about. So now, out of the microgreens that I showed you, this is the green gram microgreen, which is already ready for harvest. This is about already 4 to 5 inches tall. And I usually plant it like leaving 1 or 2 centimeters, space. So that when I cut these microgreens, I don't cut the roots because we don't eat the roots specifically. We eat the shoot of these microgreens. And these take about 7 to 10 days to completely grow. Once those small leaves come, like the one here, it actually starts pulling the nutrient from the soil. So you need to leave it for 2 or 3 days more, and then you can chop these microgreens and then eat them. So she was also talking about the superfood, that is the wheat seeds, right? These cannot actually be used in salads or in any kind of food, but it's mainly used in smoothie or a concentrated juice. It is actually very nutritious. So let's now start off. So let's pull our newspaper so that we don't spill the soil everywhere. So I'm going to spread the newspaper here. Right. So I've taken a disposable box, a food disposable box. Right. It has its own lid. It has its own lid. And I have made 4 holes. It's difficult for you guys to see, but I made like 4 to 5 small holes. So I think you guys can also start off doing this. So you can spread your newspaper and take a pot or a disposable container, whichever you have. Okay, so now what we do is we take the soil. As I told you, the soil needs to be dry and fine grained. The reason being, the seeds are so tiny. So if you have a thicker, a wet soil, or else if you have too many stones in it, then it is difficult for these tiny seeds, when they grow, roots grow out, to grow around them. So they don't grow well, and they might even die. In one of my plants, there is a portion where I think the soil wasn't very fine, and the seeds haven't sprouted out at all. Okay, so now I start putting the soil here. I'm going to grow the methi seeds. So I'm going to grow the fenugreek seeds today. So for that, I'll just put the soil, leaving about 2 to 3 centimeters. So don't press the soil. We need enough air or the soil needs to be loose for the seeds to sprout and then the roots to grow down. Otherwise, the roots get stuck and it may just get rotten, the seeds. Okay. So you just level it like this. Okay. Then I take the seeds. So when I put the seeds on the thing, I need to make it more dense than the usual seeds that we plant. So when we plant the other spinach or any other vegetables, we don't plant it, so close by together. But since these plants are going to be really small, they're not going to grow beyond 2 to 5 centimeters. We can grow them more closely. So I'm going to put them more densely. So I'll give you time to do it. You can take your own time. So this is how it's going to look, right? It's pretty dense. If you see any stones, you can just remove it when you are pouring the soil. So after I have done this, if you are actually planting a green gram, you will have to put 1 inch soil on top of after you have put these seeds. If you have put methi or fenugreek seeds and mustard seeds, you just need to put like 1 centimeter of soil on top of this. So on top of this one, I'll just put like a centimeter of soil just to cover the seeds. If they're not covered, you can just push the seeds a bit down using a pencil or a spoon or something like that. Right? So something like this. So if you are growing the green grass, then you need to put a little bit more soil. So about 1 inch on top of the seeds that you are planting. So are we good? It's the same method if you're using a smaller pot than the disposable one. So you leave about 1 inch and then cover the pot with the soil, and then you plant whichever seeds you want. And then if it is green gram, just leave 2 inches and then cover the soil, and then you put the seeds and then cover it with the mud. Okay. So now we take water. We don't need too much of water because these plants are really small, but we need to moist them, right, so that they can sprout. So what we do is just start pouring it. I hope you will be able to see it. So I'm just seeing that I'm put enough water to just wet the soil on the top. If you don't have holes in the container, here I can still put some more water and the excess water would drain off because I have holes, right? If you don't have enough, if you don't have holes, then just moist the water a bit. Don't pour so much water that it becomes really soggy. Okay. Post this, I have this lid, so I just close it. If you don't have a lid, it is still okay. You can just put basically another container which is a little bigger than this so that it covers up. And we need to keep it in a darker place where there is not much sunlight. So the first 3 days, the microgreens don't require so much of sunlight to grow, right? So we just keep it in a darker place. So after 3 days, when you start seeing the sprouts and then tiny leaves, you see like 2 leaves or 3, 4 leaves, then you just remove this lid and then you actually check the soil. If it is slightly wet, don't put any water. If it is not wet, then you pour a little bit of water and keep it, enough wet for the seeds to grow. So when do you, I'll let you guys do the thing. I'll just explain it to you. When should you start cutting these microgreens? So as I mentioned to you, I had planted this mustard seed on Monday, which was like, today is the 5th day, like 4 or 5 days back. And still it is, it's about 2 inches. It's about a little more than 2 inches tall. I will leave it for another 2 more days. So between 7 to 12 days is when the microgreens are ready to be used. So you will have to use your judgment. Some microgreens grow really fast, like I had planted this green gram on the same day, and as you see, this is like 5 inches tall, so I can use it today itself. But there are some of them which take a little longer. So these are the methi ones, which are about, I would say, 3 inches tall. So I will leave another 2 days and then I can use them. So do you want to ask some of them to show where they are and how they are progressing?
Ma'am, can I show? This is Vishal.
Yes, Vishal.
Hi. Yes. Oh, very nice. So it's a small pot, right? Oh, nice. It's very nice. So do you have some more soil? Do you have some more soil with you? You can put some more soil. And what seed are you planning to plant?
This is fenugreek.
Which seed are you planning to plant?
Fenugreek.
Fenugreek. Okay, sure. I think that's good enough. If you have put like 2 inches of soil, that's good enough. Even if your pot is really big, but you have 2 inches of soil at the bottom, you're still good. So after you put fenugreek, you can put like a centimeter of soil on top.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, Samarth. It looks very good. If you have, is that fenugreek again? Okay, so you can actually put a little bit more soil on top of it, like another inch of soil, sorry, another centimeter of soil. I can see Tanish. Yeah, Tanish. So that's okay. I can see what you're doing. You can actually.
So in this one, I just watered it. Sure, I planted green gram, and as you said, sure, in this one, I just planted fenugreek and put the lid on it and watered it.
Okay, that's very nice. So on the green gram, you have put enough soil, I assume.
Yes, sure. I had got another box full of soil, and because we didn't have soil to get again, my dad bought some more from upstairs on the terrace, and we put more on the green gram.
Okay, that's very nice.
And I grew this mustard before.
Oh, that's good. That looks very nice. You grew it on a tissue?
Yes, no, I grew it on cotton.
Okay, yes. So you can also grow it without soil. You can grow it on a tissue, but it doesn't grow as well as these.
So I
Yeah.
learned that you can grow you can grow these
Yeah.
in a path which has a high content of moisture.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Ma'am,
You just need to maintain enough moisture. So you can actually grow it on top of a moist tissue, moist cotton cloth, a moist cotton. You can grow it on them as well.
thank you.
Yes, I didn't.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
My soil has some stones in it. Is that fine?
It's okay. Like you can remove if at all the stones. Like see, these are all like hard soil I had when I was planting it. I just removed it. Whatever you can get a hold of, just remove it. It's okay even if it is like tiny stones here. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. And also, okay, where can I keep it? Can I just keep it in my balcony or?
Yes, you can keep it in the balcony. First 3 days, it doesn't require sunlight because it is just sprouting. Only when the leaf starts growing, then the photosynthesis starts. Then you need to put it in the garden or else near the window sill where you get bright, sunlight, where you can read a book or something, that much amount of sunlight.
Thank
So
you.
only time you know that there is no enough sunlight for the plant is when the leaves start turning yellow. Currently these are green, but if these plants didn't have enough sunlight to grow, they would have been yellow in color. Then you need to place it in a much more
What
bright.
do we have to do
Sorry.
after harvesting?
Oh yeah. So for example, I have these green gram, right? So say if I cut them today, I can put it in any curry. So if you taste these green grams once they are grown, they will taste like a green gram. So for example, the mustards will taste spicy just like a mustard, and then your methi will taste bitter just like methi. So it's almost an alternative to the original plant. If you grow coriander seeds into a microgreen, it tastes like coriander. And what else? So even if you can grow a spinach microgreen, it will taste like a spinach. So, but it has a more intense flavor than the normal plant.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, Cha.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, Cha. Project. Cha.
What are you planning to grow?
Cha,
What are you?
gram and meaty seeds.
Okay, that's nice.
Cha, this is something that I did few days before, Cha.
Oh, very nice. So that's grown into a proper methi plant itself.
Yes, Cha. And I have a flower coming.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think you've already started doing it. So it looks very nice. Yes.
Yes, Cha. It's planted from a week before.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
so that's a nice thing about these microgreens. Go ahead, tell me.
excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, Cha. Excuse me, Cha.
Yes, Adrit. Kishore,
Yes,
I'll just come back to you 1 minute. Yeah.
yes, Cha. This is meat that I've grown
Okay.
just now, ma'am.
Just now you have put it. Okay. So you can just cover it. You after you have put the water, you can just cover it. Tell me.
Ma'am, I am ready with another pot. Can I grow mustard in this right now?
Yes, yes, sure. You can grow it. You can grow whatever you want. You can whatever seeds you have, you can grow. Except for dals, like all your tur dal and all what you use for your dals. There's only one type of dal that you can grow, but all the pulses you can grow, like these green, chana, chickpeas. You can grow white chickpeas, you can grow black chickpeas, lobia, rajma, whatever you have at home, you can grow all of them.
Sure. This is meaty and this is mustard. Can I
Grow, yeah.
see how to grow these mustard seeds?
Yes, it's the same way as you did for the methi. You need to leave about 2 to 3 inches and then fill it completely with soil. Then you put the mustard seeds and put 1 centimeter of soil on top. And the same thing, you put the water and close the lid and keep it for 3 days. And then you remove the lid and you can see the small leaves coming out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you.
for the session.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. This is Chirag Harsha.
Hi, Chirag.
Ma'am, can we grow millets as microgreens?
I haven't tried them. I haven't tried them till now. You can grow flax seeds for sure. You can grow all your broccoli seeds, beetroot seeds, then what else? Coriander seeds. You'll have like tiny coriander plants. Like your coriander plants and spinach plants takes about 3 weeks to grow, and 3 to 4 weeks to grow, but these come out in like 7 days. So all those coriander and those millets I've not tried. I'll surely let you know. I'll have to check.
Yes.
I'll
Sir,
tell you.
can we
Excuse me,
Sir, can we grow finger millets?
I will check and let you know. I haven't grown them, but I'm sure like anything that sprouts can be grown into a plant. So I'll check and let you.
Sir, can I show my project?
Yes, sure. Wow, it looks nice. What have you sowed?
Sir, methi seeds.
Okay, it looks very nice. So you can pour water. You can pour
Yes,
water.
sir. Yes, sir. Pour water.
Okay, nice.
excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Just Shreyash.
Yeah, Shreyash.
Sir, I'm growing my seeds on a pot. It's too big, sir.
Okay, no problem. You just plant it. See, the microgreens doesn't require a lot of soil. So even in a pot, if you have more than 2 inches of soil, that's enough. 2 inches to how many ever inches. Just on the top, leave about 1 or 2 inches space, and then put your seed, whatever seed you are planning to sow.
Excuse me, ma'am.
And then keep it inside. Don't keep it in the sunlight. Keep it in the shade. Once you see the leaves, keep it in the sunlight.
Sir, how much water should we put?
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Sir, how much water should we put?
How much water? So if this is a medium-sized pot and you have a mug of water, put half a mug of water.
Okay, sir.
If it's a big plant, then you can put like a 3/4 mug. The big pot.
Okay,
sorry.
sir. Okay, sir. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Can I use wet soil?
No. So if the soil is wet, then it doesn't have enough air and space for the roots to grow. So it doesn't grow completely thick. Like all your sprouts will not actually, all your seeds will not sprout and grow into a plant. So what you can do is you can keep your wet soil in the sunlight for a couple of days, and once it is dry, you just need to powder that soil and then grow it. For now, you can plant it if you don't have any other soil. For now, you can plant it and see what happens. Next time when you do it, you can do it with a dry soil. That would be nice.
Okay, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can I show my mustard?
Yes,
Mustard
sure.
plant?
Nice. Yeah, it looks good.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Aiden D'Souza here again.
Yeah.
I don't have a cap for my second box, so can I use foil instead?
You can actually use any kind of a container. Just keep it on top of it like this.
Excuse me, sir.
Or else, you can just close it like this. It's okay. You don't need like a lid. It's just if you're not closing with a lid, then after 2 days, just check if the soil is wet or dry and just put a little bit water, because the water will evaporate. Currently, we are sealing it so that the moisture stays inside. That's all is the change. You don't have to worry if you don't have a lid.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. May I show my
back.
my plant?
Excuse me,
Yes, sure. We go one by one. So Tanisha wants to show me your. Okay, Ivan is showing. Yes, Ivan. It looks good. So what have you planted?
Mustard and coriander.
Nice. It looks nice.
Excuse me, sir.
Just put a little bit more soil on the top.
Excuse me.
Okay, ma'am, I'll see if I can find some.
Or else also it is fine. If you don't find soil also, it is fine. Okay.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can I show my project Shreyash again?
Sir, related to, sir, how many more days will it be until we have to cut this, sir?
Which one is this?
The mustard, sir.
Okay, so I think you need to leave it for another 3 days. I can see that it is about 1.5 inches. So let it grow. Sorry.
Ma'am. Yeah.
You can just type it in your chat, Tanish. I'll respond to you.
Sure. Sure, can I show my project Shreyash?
Yes,
What?
Shreya.
Sure, I have 2 pots.
Yeah, I can see that. What have you planted?
Sure, mustard and
Mustard, you said, yes.
methi.
Methi, right? It
Yes.
all looks good. The pots and the soil, amount of soil, everything looks good. So you just water it and keep it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Naina ma'am. Thank you so much. Boys, if there are any more queries, I'm sure that you can put it in the chat box and Naina ma'am will be clarifying any of your queries, whatever you all have. Okay. Thank you, boys. Thank you for that interaction session, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was so stimulating for our boys and enlightening them about these microgreen plants because, as you said, it was really these baby plants have very rich content in them. So thank you so much for inviting them and for this wonderful activity that we had. Thank you so much, Naina ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. It was
Yes.
really exciting to see, some of the people already exploring it, and everybody has done a really good job. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, Mrs. Tanya Perry will now render us with the vote of thanks.
It was a very engaging and fascinating hour. And now we have to give thanks. So good morning, everyone. Thank you is the best prayer that anyone could say. First of all, I would like to thank our respected principal, Father Sunil Fernandez, Vice Principal, Mr. Uday Kumar, and Administrator of Primary Section, Reverend Father Vishal D'Souza, for giving this opportunity to learn something new. My heartfelt thanks to Ms. Naina Hangi for enlightening us about microgreens and reminding us to take better care of our health, which is so precious and must not be neglected. Thank you, ma'am. I thank our PTA Committee Vice President, Mr. Clifton Pinheiro, and PTA Secretary, Mrs. Priyadarshini, for being so thoughtful to organize this program for our students. I also thank Ms. Nivedita and Ms. Sharvari for all the coordination that helped put together this program. How can I leave our dear teachers who work as a spine to put up all parts together? Thank you, teachers. Finally, before I end, I must say that the audience, our dear students, have been exceptional because without their discipline, this workshop would not have been successful. What I appreciate the most is that most of you came in time after your classes. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Tanya ma'am. Thank you again, Mrs. Naina, for your valuable time and educating our boys on how to grow microgreens. With this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you, one and all. Have a pleasant day.